What is up, bros? Josh here. In today's video, we are going over the still work in progress Jean Bart, and the latest change was a very small one. And usually, when wargaming starts doing some itsy bitsy small changes, that means the ship is pretty close to being finalized. And the latest change was changing its sigma from 2.0 to 1.9. But still, this thing is still a monster. It's still great. I still enjoy it. I really enjoy this. This video is going to seem a lot like the Burgonia video I just put up a little while ago because they're honestly pretty similar with how they play and pretty similar with how they produce damage. And what I mean by that is that flanking style, opportunistic punish of broadside, and I really do enjoy this. Now, especially the Burgonia has been getting a lot of flack from a lot of people saying that, well, it has a low health pool, it doesn't tank very well, and you know it's kind of just, it's not really a battleship, it's just a waste of time, and the reload booster isn't worth it. Well, yes, are we gonna tank with these ships? And first of all, we are seeing kind of a pattern that we've kind of seen before, with French battleships taking the tier below, giving it something, making it the tier higher. You know, this is basically a Richelieu that's been given a reload booster. Now it's a tier 9, and the Burgonia was basically an Alsace with a reload booster that's now a tier 10. We've seen a pattern like this, and I think we'll kind of see this in the future of wargaming doing this. We saw it with the IJN battleships, where they're taking the tier above, giving it the stock version, and making it a tier lower. We saw that with the Ashitaka, which is a stock Amagi at tier 7, and then we saw that with the Mutsu, a stock Nagato at tier 6. So we are kind of seeing a similar pattern that wargaming has done, kind of reusing stuff. But still, I think that even with the reuse basically of these certain ships, they've made them unique enough that I think that the ship is fun. I think the Burgonia is fun. I think this playstyle is fun because you are super opportunistic, and it's kind of on you getting into a spot where you can really punish the team and having great awareness of where you can punish this team. So first of all, you're always going to be looking on your mini-map to where you can get into a spot. As you can see, there's a Montana behind me, but he's going to be one of those Montanas that kind of stays full life the whole game, if you kind of catch my drift. But as you see, I'm kind of rotating around following this, but still staying aggressive at the same time because I know where most of the big ships are, and I can then get on this broadside because I want to be into a spot where I can use this reload booster to the best of my ability and pumping out as much damage as possible, which is what this ship is all about. Now, people have been giving this ship grief, especially the Burgonia, as well as being kind of lightly armored, lower health pool. Yes, you know, it's not going to have anywhere, it's about 20,000 less than the Musashi, about 10 less than the Missouri, Iowa, similar ships. Yes, are you going to be able to bow in against these and win? You know, probably for slinging HE you might be okay, but you're going to be taking some hits through the nose because of how the armor is on this ship. But that's really not what the main focus of this ship is, and I will use a term that that was used a lot in World of Warcraft. Yes, I'm a WoW nerd, well, was a WoW nerd, but this ship is going to do a lot of damage, but it's also going to take a lot of damage, and that's the trade-off. It's a very kind of high risk, high reward ship, which I find extremely fun in this game. You know, having just something that's completely tanky and something that doesn't do that much damage, you know, that's fine, right? You're going to be able to tank a lot of damage. I would rather kind of, not really rather, but I like having the option to play something that's a bit more, we even say exciting. I would say this ship is very exciting to play. Same with the Burgonia. And the ability to get into a situation where you overall just give me those broadsides, right? That's what you want. You want to find a spot where you can take those broadsides, and that's something too where people have said this ship only does well when things are broadside. Have you played random battles recently? All there is in this game is broadsides, so you're gonna do quite well. It would be very interesting to see if there was, you know, especially like the tier 10, if the Burgonia would have been in the rank season. That would have been really fun to see how it would have performed. Obviously, it's not anywhere near the final stage, and this is pretty close to probably its final stage. It would have been interesting to see how the Burgonia performed against the other tier 10 battleships. I feel like we would have seen, you know, probably a decent showing from it. But again, it would have been really hard to tell because it's just not finalized. But, you know, is it going to win some bow wins? Is it going to lose some bow wins against smaller ships? Yeah, probably, but because that's not really what it's meant to do. You know, you are going to get hit in the nose a little bit. You are going to, you know, some of your armor. I mean, that's just a decent little hit right there. The times that I see me pushing in this ship is the times where I do 70, 80, 100k damage in a span of the reload. So using those reload boosters, it's all about that. You are very, very opportunistic when it comes to this ship, and you're waiting for something to mess up, and you are taking advantage of somebody's mistakes. There is no ship, you know, this in the Bourgogne, there's no real ship that can take advantage of mistakes like these French battleships with the reload booster can. There are certain snapshots that you will make with this ship, having its already fast reload, having its reload booster, having adrenaline rush when you're taking damage, that can pump out the amount of damage, the snap damage that, you know, that these ships can. There just really isn't, and I feel like that's awesome. I really like that. In a game where there is more and more things to find a niche for ships, I will always applaud Wargaming for finding that, and I think they have found something that's very, very unique, you know. So here we're getting into a Cyclone actually too, which is normally something I'm not too excited in, but with a reload boosting French battleship that's fast, hell yeah, I want to be in a Cyclone, because as long as it's not a DD, and we know there's a DD that's way out there, as well as there's a DD kind of off to my left, I want to be in a Cyclone with this ship, because I will beat everything. Not only are you fast, not only do I have a decent amount of life, but I do have my reload boosters to use. So we're going to give that Montana, again, getting into a situation. Could I have done that with another ship? Absolutely, right? But the situations where the Iowa that was, or I think it was Missouri, that was almost full life, that we just continuously chunked down, and that was purely because of the reload booster, and purely because of its ability to just pump out damage extremely, extremely fast. So, and as we're going to push around, Kitakaze, we're actually going to bounce a couple shells, which is always awesome, and we're using this salvo to put a little bit of damage on that Alabama as well. Hopefully let that Kitakaze finish off the ship, and this nice little salvo too. So right now, this Cyclone is going to start hitting, and you know, it's a time right now that we're just going to push. As we see, I'm going to hope that I don't run into the Sasho, because our DDs, as you saw the Fletcher earlier, as you see in the Kitakaze now, they're not really caring too much about being an anti-destroyer. I thought I was dead right here. They care more about just farming some damage, so it's a little bit of a feels bad, man. So we're gonna chill here and wait a little bit more, and hopefully that our Kitakaze does not light us on fire. We're gonna pray that doesn't happen. But yes, as you see, the Asashio has just had free range. I don't think our DDs have even gone near him at all. Maybe on accident. Our Fletcher has just been ripple firing towards cruisers all game. So this is one thing where I slow down a little bit, and you just have to be opportunistic. You really, really do. And I don't think there's anything that's really going to take advantage of mistakes as much as these ships. In my video during the Bourgogne, there was a salvo that literally only that ship could have made. What I mean by that is there was a salvo where there was a Buffalo that was broadside, and the only way I could have gotten a reload fast enough to catch that broadside would have been with the reload booster. So that's pretty awesome, and we timed that perfectly that the Zao doesn't have a salvo. We'll just keep backing up, and Zao troll armor. But already with a couple reloads down, we're at 162,000 damage, 7 citadels already, 1 kill, not too bad. And the best part about this ship is that if you need to, you can push in and use your secondaries. It's still a French battleship, right? So it still has good secondaries. They fire all the time, and you can really pump out a lot of damage. I recommend, if with these ships, if they do come out, go a bit more focused on the main battery reload and kind of focus around the strengths of the ship, then focus around something that, you know, with a, let's say like a GK, or let's say with like a Bismarck, stuff like that, you can do a bit more of a secondary focused ship, because you can tank a bit more. These obviously you can't take can't tank as well, and we're gonna take another torp. We've taken all the torps today in this game, so that feels bad, but at this point in our life we just have to push, and there's nothing we can really do. So we're gun-ho. We have 3,000 life. Our Fletcher that didn't hunt down our Sasho gets a little bit of karma, and so we're gonna go forward and kill everything in front of us, because that's what these ships are really, really good at. Hopefully we don't run into a gearing. Hopefully we get a heal pretty quick, and we can finish out this game pretty strong and make this move. Now, this has been something that I think I haven't seen, is the ability for playmaking, and these are playmaking ships. That the ability to just go in and get into a situation where you can pump out a ton of damage, and even with the Richelieu, now we wasted a bit of a salvo there, but still didn't get lit on fire. And luckily we're in a Cyclone, which is amazing, so we didn't get detected there. But both destroyers on this cap, that's pretty danger close, and we'll push in against this Monarch as well with the reload up just a tad, and I think we'll get a little bit out of it, just a little bit out of the reload, and there we go. So cut it still in half still, so that's pretty nice, and chunked out a bit more damage. And I just think these are great playmaking ships, and I think you guys are going to enjoy them. I think they're a lot of fun, and I think that there is a fun time to be had with this style of ship, because we really haven't seen something like this. This reload booster is super unique. Still though, this is a bit more finalized. The Burgonia is a bit more in its early stages, so we'll probably see a lot more changes to that. This, with a small little change to their Sigma, I would expect to see this a bit like probably the finalized version, kind of like this. When Wargaming does kind of the onesie twosie changes, pretty small changes, there's not much else they're going to really change, and basically just start kind of sending out the ship kind of like that. But the rest of this game isn't super exciting. They go on to kill the Asashio, and the Zal runs to the 1 line, or I guess the J line. So the rest of this game isn't super exciting. But overall, the ship is still great fun. I find it's unique. I find its ability to make plays a lot of fun. And I think the Jean Bart will be a really fun ship. I still don't know how it's going to be sold. If it's going to be coal, free XP, I'm just not sure how they will end up doing it. Now, it would potentially make sense for them to follow the pattern of doing free XP. If you know, the Musashi was free XP, the Missouri was free XP, although the Musashi also is coal. So, you know, who knows exactly what they'll end up doing, but I imagine it'll be free XP or coal, and I will probably see the finalized version in this. So overall, this ship is still an amazing playmaker. It just takes advantage of mistakes, and I really kind of enjoy playing this. I feel comfortable in this ship, and I like playing this ship. Because it adds kind of that thrill of being that kind of glass cannon and pumping out damage in just mass amounts. It's crazy. But overall, just a lot of fun to play, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. But anyways, guys, that is it. Again, I think we'll probably see something very similar to this as the final version, and who knows when they'll end up releasing it and how they will end up sending it out. But still, 10 out of 10 for me. I feel like the Jean Bart's amazing, and I think you guys will like it. But that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.